Let's take a look at some of the improvements in Creo Parametric 1.0, specifically related to what we've done to improve assembly modeling. So here what you can see is we've improved the experience of putting parts together, one of the most basic operations I can do in a design tool. And one of the first things you'll notice in Parametric 1.0 is we've added the 3D dragger. So now as soon as you go to assemble a component, and I can drag it in off the desktop or find it in the File Open dialog, I get the dragger with which I can position where my part's going to be located. Now there's a few cool things that are also taking place here that you'll notice. The first one is that as soon as I pick, let's say, a cylindrical surface, the dragger changes and only the degrees of freedom that are then available are the ones that I can move the component in. And we'll automatically recognize, hey, you pick one cylindrical surface, you pick another, we've snapped to that. Then I just picked one planar surface. As soon as I drag up and down, because that's the only degree of freedom left, the system's smart enough then to kind of snap at each surface that's within a certain tolerance vertically as that thing is assembled to that part. So it makes it kind of nice for basically improving how easy it is to assemble components. Next thing that I want to show is some neat search capabilities directly built into Creo Parametric. I can look for things like, let's say, packaged components or frozen components. I can also do real simple things like search by name. I mean, it's basically like having Google specifically for your CAD models built into Creo Parametric. Even if things are nested a few levels deep, it's very easy to see where they're located. And then the final improvement here with kind of the basic assembly capabilities that I'm going to talk about is change tracking. So basically the same way I can do change tracking in a Word document or some other Microsoft Office document, I can do the same thing now directly in Creo Parametric. And here I can see what parts have been added, which ones have been modified, all very simply, very easily, just directly in Creo Parametric and Creo 1.0. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about some of the assembly performance improvements that we've done. Specifically, what we started doing is taking and merging the Creo View technology into Creo Parametric. Now what you just saw me do was open an assembly with a few hundred parts, and that was the real time that it took to basically open that assembly. So less than a second to open an assembly of a few hundred components. And what you'll notice is that what we're doing is we're basically populating the graphics with the Creo viewable of that assembly. The full assembly structure is there. And then what I can do is I can interactively start loading more data as I kind of narrow down where I want to work on that assembly specifically. Maybe it's a subsection of the transmission or something like that, or I want to define a work environment on the fly, or basically define a simplified rep as I'm going. Dramatically easier, dramatically faster, the performance is great. And once again, what I'm starting to enable is work on these massive assemblies the same way that I can interact with them in Creo View. I can do similar operations directly in the modeling environment. So hopefully this gives you an idea of just a few of the improvements that we've done to make assembly modeling better than ever in Creo Parametric 1.0.